I'm going to chime in here with a few words of support for Eddie and his perspective on the Amazing Atheist's contributions to dialogue and discussion on YouTube. But I do think I need to preface this with these comments are not exclusively applicable to TJ, nor are they exclusively applicable to atheism. In my observation of movements, of groups, of causes, what have you, there are 3 points, well, 3.5, pertinent to what we're seeing going on here that I'd like to share and like to relate. First, what you use to get people in the door is what the people that you get want. And this part is particularly important. And that is probably all they will accept from you. Hackneyed metaphor here. If you bait your hook for sharks and you catch sharks, you can't expect later, having caught them, that you'll be able to feed them broccoli. More practical examples. If the main draw of a church is, say, a really good music program, chances are that what people are going to be taking away from that church, what's going to be bringing them in, and what they're going to be willing to accept from that church, what they're most likely to integrate or actually act upon or value, is the really good music. On the other side of it, if a church draws people in with a highly politicized message, very antagonistic, flagrant, flamboyant, just very sensationalist messages, like Fred Phelps, the kinds of people that are going to be attracted to that, for whom the appeal is going to actually work, that's what they want. And you're not going to be able to change it on them later, because they won't accept it. If Fred Phelps had a sudden revelation and decided that he was going to work tirelessly for the rest of his life at advocating and advancing human rights, compassion, and understanding between people of different ideologies, sexual orientations, ethnic backgrounds, religions, what have you, his congregation wouldn't stand for it, because that's not what they came for. Similarly, an atheist message wherein the appeal is outrageous statements, ridicule and condemnation of opposition, that's what people came for, and that's all they're really likely to accept. They came for the ridicule. They came for permission to express contempt. And if you then try to work in ideas like socially responsible behaviors, humanism, compassion as an imperative to social order and efficient distribution of resources, they might not walk out, but they're not going to take it home with them, because that's not what they came for. I've had some very long and very intense conversations with some prominent members in atheist advocacy on this issue. And looking at it from that angle, many of them were aghast. Many of them were appalled. Throwing out a catch line, a hook line, like theism is a mental disorder, and then putting a lot of conscientious effort and thought into clarifying that statement, almost clarifying it into meaninglessness as a bridge to talking what they actually wanted to talk about in the first place. Seriously considering the possibility that that does not work in the people that I talked to, it explained a lot it explained a lot of what they were seeing with their interactions with their fan base, if you will. It was horrifying to them to consider that maybe the sensationalism was all that the people that were listening to them were really taking away. It's not that black and white, of course. There are certainly shades of gray here. There are degrees of integration that occur. But even the possibility that the flash and fireworks that we ourselves don't believe, but we use in the hopes that the noise will draw attention, even the possibility that that's all that the people that are listening to us really care about, that should give us pause.